members, I now call the House to order. We shall resume with our business listed for the day and start with item number 3, that is discussion on matters of urgent public importance under Rule 50. I have received a notice under Rule 50 from Honorable Srimati Hekani Jakhalu, Honorable Advisor, and is supported by Honorable Shri Z. Nuseto Nute, Honorable Advisor, and Honorable Advisor Shri Kuteja Kama. The subject matter under discussion is on the critical role of MSME in improving Nagaland's economy. I have also received a list of participants who would like to participate in the discussion. And as usual, after the discussion, the concluding remarks will come from the Honorable Leader of the House. I request honorable members to be mindful of the time and to be strict. The discussion will be strictly for 1 hour as per the rules. And I request the honorable members to be mindful of the time. And every member I request to limit the time taken, 5 minutes, not more. And in this case, when I say member, I also mean her also, including him. So we shall start with discussion and give time to Honorable Srimati Hekani Jakhalu Tinse, Honorable Advisor, who would like to initiate the discussion.
Sir, thank you for giving me time to discuss matters of urgent public importance under Rule 50 on the subject critical role of MSME in improving Nagaland's economy. So if you can kindly allow me to take a little more time because I'm going to be opening the discussion. Micro, small and medium industries, MSME, are the silent growth engine of our state and mostly unacknowledged because they are quietly focusing in their business, quietly doing their work and earning their own livelihood. They do not depend on the government for their salary or any type of emolument. These are the segment of people who create no problem for the government or create any trouble for the government. As a matter of fact, they are the ones who are creating jobs for the state and contributing to the economy. Our MSMEs in the past has been mostly unorganized and therefore not been able to actually assess their contribution, but that is changing today. During mid-2024, we can see that the Udyam registration was about 27,000. In August 2024, the Honorable Chief Minister, who is also the Minister in charge of Industries and Commerce, had launched a program called RAM, which is supported by the Ministry of MSME. In 1.5 years, our Udyam registration has almost doubled up to 48,655. The Department of Industries and Commerce, under his leadership, is leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the MSMEs in every corner of the state is being put into the organized sector. Now, as this first step, MSMEs needs to be formalized. Otherwise, unless, and that is through the Udyam registration, that is the first step. Once the formalization takes place, then you are integrating their businesses into the formal economy. Then, instead of being an informal, unrecognized enterprise, you are legally recognized entity. Now, if you look at our startups, we have one of the most vibrant startup culture in the state. The department's effort, also with the startup policy, which is a very robust policy in the state, and with the department's effort, and also the excellent effort put in by our entrepreneurs. Today, in the national startup ranking by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, Nagaland startup ranks in the list of the leaders category. Today we have about 267 registered startups, out of which 92 are listed as private limited companies. They are generating revenue of about 72 crore and giving employment to about 1,500 people just in 1 year, 24-25. There has never been a better time than this, where the energy of our entrepreneurs are on an all-time high. But in spite of this growth, there are many challenges still that we need to address. We have issues like limited to finances. We have the issue of inconsistent power supply. That was one very important topic which we had discussed in the last session. I am hopeful, and I believe the Honorable Power Minister has noted and the department has noted and is working towards that. I am not going to delve into that, but I still hold the same statement. If industries, if the business community has to grow, power is non-negotiable. Inadequate road connectivity is another problem. We all know bad road condition affects the supply, the movement of goods and products. But I'm also grateful to the Honorable Chief Minister and the Honorable Minister R&B. In spite of the state's financial constraints, we can see that top priority is given to the road sector, and we're hoping that this will continue and better roads will come for our people. The fourth point is unabated taxation. In other parts of the state, there are tax breaks and incentives given to entrepreneurs. But in our case, unfortunately, our entrepreneurs and enterprises are bogged down by multiple unabated taxation. This also disillusions the enterprises, and this also explains why people, the investors, are shying away from investing in our state. What is the way forward? Along with the rest of the country is talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. Nagaland has to start preparing, Nagaland has to start working towards Viksit Nagaland 2047, which means develop Nagaland by 2047. If you look at the recent budget announcement by the Finance Minister, the Union Budget, and also the post-budget webinar by the Honorable Prime Minister, a lot of emphasis has been given to the MSMEs. And the Union Budget is actually driving the Viksit Bharat vision by boosting MSMEs. Rupees 10,000 crore has been allocated for SME fund in order to, and the aim is to create champion MSMEs. Again, additional 2,000 crore for self-reliant India fund. So a lot of emphasis has been given to the MSME sector. So this initiative by the Union government is not just to, as a sympathy to the MSMEs, but focusing that if India has to grow, it is only through the growth of our MSMEs. If we look at our own data, I've already read out the numbers, and it's just, in record we have only about 48,000, but the exercise will go on. I'm hoping very soon it will go beyond 1 lakh, just the formal registration. But if you look at the data, you can see that 95% of our MSMEs are within the bracket of micro-enterprises. Micro-enterprises is, the definition is you have a turnover not more than 1 CR. But again, in the case of Nagaland, within the micro-entrepreneurs, we have a group of entrepreneurs called the nano-entrepreneurs. Their turnover is not more than 25 lakhs. And 95% of the micro-entrepreneurs are nano-enterprises. These nano-enterprises are usually in the non-farm sectors, manufacturing, services, trade, etc. You see small retail shops, you will see the welding shop, the salons, the woodcraft unit, the handloom unit, all these small ones fall under the nano-enterprises. These are very ultra-small enterprises which are usually run by an individual, a proprietorship, or a partnership. And they are contributing maximum to the state, but they are the most ignored and underserved segment of our people. And this is the category that formal institutions like the banks do not want to lend money to. They term them as high risk. And they have nowhere to go but end up borrowing from shark money lenders, shark loan. And eventually they kill their businesses, distresses the family with the high interest rates. Another issue of money lenders, the shark loan, is a silent disease that is eating up our society, and I'm hoping that we can discuss this in the days to come. But coming back to our topic, I'm extremely grateful to the Honorable Chief Minister and the Government of Nagaland for initiating the Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative Scheme, which is helping and catering to many, many entrepreneurs across the state. But today I speak for the nano-entrepreneurs. All they need is a small ticket loan, generally ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 to 1 lakh. These are the funds which they needed urgently for their the raw materials, their inventory, small equipments, and for the working capital. Expecting them to go through the whole procedure of applying, preparing a DPR, getting vetted from the nodal department, getting clearance from the district committee, and coming to the banks. It's a long process, it's a tedious process. Now, India has recognized this loophole, and today with the advancement of technology and artificial intelligence, we have non-banking financial sectors who are coming up with innovative ideas and dispersing funds and loans to these nano-entrepreneurs in just 24 to 48 hours as well. Today, I want to humbly urge the government to revisit the CMMI fund, CMMI scheme, to also incorporate provisions for our nano-entrepreneurs or to create a separate fund for them. This has become a necessity, not just as a sympathy or a rescue measure for our nano-entrepreneurs, but a rescue measure for our state. The second point that I want to again highlight is, we're talking of Atmanirbhar India, of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means self-reliant India. Nagaland, we have been talking about self-reliant Nagaland, and that is something that we need to focus on. Government of India has a public procurement policy, and this policy says that the central ministries, the departments, and the PSU have to mandatorily procure goods and services of the value of about up to minimum of 25%. State governments do not have such obligations, but I want to urge the government, if public procurement policy can be, we can come up with a public procurement policy so that we can buy products and services from our local entrepreneurs. Because at the end of everything, at the end of the day, if we do not support our own entrepreneurs, we can't expect other people to support our entrepreneurs. It could be like procurement of uniforms for the armed personnel, the home guards, the police, the civil defense, from our local tailors, or it could be procurement of agro products like vegetables, spices, and tea from our agro-based entrepreneurs. With some of this targeted intervention and a little more push from the government, I am confident of our MSMEs, I'm confident of our entrepreneurs, and I'm confident of our young people in fulfilling the goal that we are all aiming for, a self-reliant Nagaland and a Vikshit Nagaland 2047. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
The Honorable Advisors on the discussion.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving time for discussions on matter of urgent public importance under Rule 50 on the topic critical role of MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises in improving Nagaland economy. Well, Madam has spoken well, so I need not repeat, but I want to put it this way. Speaker Sir, Nagas are known for honesty and hard working, and we were a self-sustaining society before the contact of the outside world. as each village has revolved the whole social fabric within the village. With the concept of outside and modern education, the village social fabric and economy could not contain, and the need for interdependence has arisen. Speaker Sir, like in the national levels, these micro and small medium enterprises are the backbone of economy development, contributing over 30% to gross domestic product and 45% to export, and driving massive employment. They promote inclusive growth of fostering entrepreneurship, reducing regional disparity, supporting rural industry, and encouraging innovations. Likewise, now under the leadership of Dr. Neiphiu Rio and our advisors, the youth are really picking up. But I wanted to put it this way that the Speaker Sir, as per the survey report on employment, unemployment scheme and migrations in Nagaland 2025 by the Directorate of Economic and Statistics, the state employment rate is 83.92% with an unemployment rate of 16.7%, which is higher than the national unemployment rate, which stands at 5%. Speaker Sir, as we all are aware that no country in the world can afford to employ all its citizens in government job. So today, the micro, small, and medium enterprises is playing a vital role for economic growth, especially what I find is homemade-based productions, such as food processing, handloom and handicraft is really trading in our states, and most of the youth are taking up. Speaker Sir, most of us, we used to talk that we are resources ground state. Yet, to me, we are capital ground state and not resources ground. Because under this CM microfinance, I know in other districts, but in a small district like us, it is very difficult to get the loans from the financial institutions. So we have financial grants, and even if the youth wanted to do some things, they are unable to get the funds. And we also, as I said, that we are rich in natural and mineral resources, but that resources has been locked in our constitutional right in Article 371A, particularly Clause 4, or that is ownership and transfer of land and its resources. My understanding is, if we cannot transfer our lands and its resources to other people, yet we can make use of our own benefit. Despite of rich mineral resources, we hardly have any industry where we can employ our youth. The only factory in Wujiho as of now is mini cement plant. Nagaland is only many cement plants at Wujiho, which was revamped recently by MS Enterprises, and they have started rail productions. Here I wanted to put it that the mini cement factory success was largely due to the contributions of the landowner, as the cost of the land for 219.84 acre was at a meager amount of rupees 10,06,556, which is approximately 4,500 per acre, which is about 10 pies per square feet. Speaker Sir, as we know that Nagaland is facing unemployment issues, but if we really look at it, the present conditions, most of the educated people are, I think, misfit in the present way of employing. So here I wanted to suggest a few points that in order to get our educated youth for employment, we need to train up our youth in the field of masonry, lumber, tiling, electrician, and mechanic in all the district headquarters in order to observe in the construction sector. No doubt, this kind of training are given, but it is centralized and very democratically. So whenever I ask our people, why don't you avail these facilities, they are of the view that because of these climatic conditions, they are not in a condition to face hot climate place like Dimapur. But not only that, you see, like, if we really look at to our present context, 30 to 40% of our resources are drawn to the constructions, and it is mostly employed by non-locals. Here, what I find is that if we train our people properly and form like a self-help group type, I think in group, Naga are really doing well. Here I find in Kohima, some of them, they have an organized sector of laborers. But when we ask, I think they are mostly engaged non-locals. So whenever we ask, they used to sell the non-local laborers. So these kind of things, if we could recruit our youth, our own Naga youth, I think that is that can observe the things somehow it can redress the employment issue. And one more thing, most of our people are availing this CM microfinance in the urban area, but my observation is, well, doing business, they are doing this Vietnamese system. If we go around in Kohima, Dimapur, 60%, 70% of the shop is being run by non-Nagas. And shop permits belongs to our own people. So I think this kind of thing is killing us. And here, I wanted to put it one more thing. We need to create an atmosphere of mutual trust among the Nagas. And this should be taken up, not only by us, but by the civil society and especially by the churches. To be frank, my experience is that if we go to the shop to buy some things, for a Naga mentality is instead of buying from a Naga shop, we prefer to do business with a non-local. So I think we need to create some sort of mutual understandings. Then one more thing, that our education system still follow that the British Raj systems, that is curriculum education. Here, I wanted to put it that include one manual job-oriented subject in the school curriculum from class 5 till class 12. Because after class 12, some of them, they used to go for their professional training like in the technical education or other fields. But you see, like being from the rural peoples, I have come across that most of the rural area, the construction of houses are being done by their own local people, because most of them, they have experience, they have done this carpentry when we are in high schools. So whenever I ask my few friends, they say they are engaged in this issue. But now, this vocational institution has been introduced in the school, but all cannot be observed in that vocational or in the white-collar job. So the only thing is our Naga people need to take up all these things. Then I wanted to put it this way in order to redress the problem facing as of now. It is a high time for us to look into the clause 4 of Article 371A and explore mineral resources for the optimum benefit of the state government and the landowner, and it will create job avenue. See, like in the constitutions, it is clearly stated that unless the state legislative pass some things, no act of parliament in respect of religious and social practices of the Naga, Naga customary law and procedure, administration of civil and criminal justice involving decision according to Naga customary law, ownership and transfer of land and its resources. Here, my observation is that social and religious issue we are not bothering. The other day, one of our members was raising the use of explosive. It is not in our culture. It is not in our social setup. We have another type of setup. But why we call ourselves unique? Unique means we don't follow other culture and other practices. But now, instead of practicing our own custom and our own social activities, we used to follow all those which has been brought from alliance. You see, like now, this during Diwali, Diwali is the festival of light, and it seems during the Diwali, most of the people, they used to play dice, Chandamunda. Now, you not come across any more Nagas playing Chandamunda, but it is being played by Naga people. So we used to tell that we are unique, but we are not no more unique. We are imitating other cultures. And even administration of this civil and criminal justice, now the rich peoples, if they are not here, never went to the civil court or to the village panchayat court. Even for civil cases also, even for CSS cases also, people are started going to the Supreme Court and High Court. So where is the uniqueness of our Naga peoples? Here, ownership of land and transfer of land and its resources. I think we are the people who are sticking on this. We wanted to derive only our right, but we don't want to give away some things for the betterment of our society. Rather, I should say that Bengal Eastern Founder Regulation Act 1873, because of this act, this ILB has been introduced. Here, the non-Nagas are not able to purchase anything, any land or any property within Nagaland. So I think for them coming all the way to do labor in our area, they have a lot of disadvantages. And most of our youth now they are ready even to take up manual work also. So I think we need to do some things for the youngster, and for how long we go on talking Article 371. I think it's a high time we need to thresh out, we need to discuss. And if it is possible, I think we need to come up, we need to legislate so that we can trade our own economy, because we have a lot of resources in our lands. Last time, people used to talk that Meluri district or Pujuri area is rich in mineral resources. But I used to tell a friend, unless it has been proved, unless it has been explored and proved, how can we say blindly that we are rich? So I used to ask this geology and mining department, they should come and explore and excavate so that we should know the exact deposit of minerals. And if God willing, as I said, that very good number of our Naga people are rich in capitals, but we need to create some sort of mutual trust among the Nagas and let the rich people invest wherever there is minerals. And with that, I think we can stand by ourselves. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you so much for giving me time to participate in the discussion on matters of public importance under Rule 50 on critical role of MSME in improving Nagaland's economy. The micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME, was established by the Government of India. Through the Act, the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006 to facilitate the promotion, development and competitiveness of MSMEs to drive inclusive economic growth. It aims to promote entrepreneurship, generate employment, foster economic growth, and enhancing regional developments. Honorable Sir, to achieve this objective, the MSME Act 2006 focused on several key socio-economic goals. To provide jobs at a lower capital cost compared to large industries, particularly for both skilled and unskilled labor in rural and semi-urban areas. Encouraging industrial growth in backward or remote areas to reduce regional imbalances and rural migration. To create a conducive environment for individuals to start and grow business with limited capital investment. Enhancing India's presence in the global market, MSME currently contributes approximately 40 to 45% of India's total export. Driving the adoption of new technologies, digital tools, and improved manufacturing processes to increase productivity. Reducing economic disparities by providing livelihood opportunities and wealth creation platforms for diverse sections of society, including women and youth. And also serving as a vital ancillary units that supply essential components and services to the larger manufacturing sector. Thus, MSME is considered as the main catalyst for generating employment opportunities next to agriculture in India and has been contributing more than 30% of the gross domestic product of the Indian economy. Honorable Speaker, sir, in a like manner, micro, small and medium enterprises in Nagaland also has been playing a transformative role in generating employment and contributing immensely to the growth of the state's economy. It has been a catalyst for generating employment and fostering economic growth. As per the report available, already 48,655 units in Nagaland has taken Udyam registration under MSME, with 15,276 units registered as manufacturers and 33,379 units being registered as service providers, providing a huge employment opportunities. Thus, the MSME is becoming the powerhouse, driving economies and sparking entrepreneurship, fostering creativity and providing livelihood to both skilled and unskilled youths. However, despite this growth, there has been a financial constraint. Inadequate infrastructure and limited digital adoption remain a major challenges. Therefore, addressing these barriers through better financial accessibility, skill development, and policy intervention is crucial for sustaining MSME-led growth. Therefore, we as a government have to bring out further policy intervention so that we can actively participate as a government and also rope in the national banks, private banks which are operating in Nagaland to support our MSME units. In this regard, I also want to I want to express my profound gratitude to our most dynamic leader, Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Neiphiu Rio, for playing the leading role in implementing micro, small and medium enterprises policies and strategies by launching, raising and accelerating MSME performance, RAM, which is the strategic World Bank supported initiative to boost economic growth, competitiveness and job creation in Nagaland. 2. For promotion of entrepreneurship and local economy, he has launched the Nagaland Entrepreneurship Impact Forward 2035 aimed at supporting 10,000 entrepreneurs and generating 50,000 jobs by focusing on local sectors like coffee, honey, Naga chili, and eco-tourism, etc. Thirdly, the skill development and employment launched as Nagaland Skill Entrepreneurship Development Mission 2025 to bridge the gap between education and employment, facilitating easier access to skill training and to the youths. Fourthly, the Chief Minister of Microfinance Initiative launched as a credit link subsidy scheme designed to foster entrepreneurship and strengthening livelihood activities throughout the state, where thousands of the youths have already been benefited. Recently, All Women BPO Center was launched to strengthen MSME activities, especially among the women. Honorable Speaker, sir, with all these policies and strategies in place, with the commitment and dedication of our government, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Neiphiu Rio, the youths can confidently look beyond government jobs, which is already saturated, and explore opportunities which within and outside the state that creates employment, generates income, and becoming proud leaders in the world of entrepreneurship. We must understand as a people our potentials, our strengths, our rich resources, and not just think of impossibilities, have negative attitudes. Rather, we should be proud as a Naga and understand our own potentials, which are to our advantage. The rich natural resources, fertile soils, scenic landscapes, strong handicraft cultures, rich traditions and cultures, sports, music, fine arts, etc. We have also the geographically strategic location for partnering our neighboring states as well as the Southeast Asian countries in production, manufacturing, trading, tourism, services, besides other entrepreneurial activities. Therefore, for the success of all the government strategies, policies, schemes that are made available, the youth must have the courage to venture out, and we have to rope in the banks to participate. They must shift from the attitude of collecting deposits to supporting entrepreneurs and also local partners in economic development of the state. In this way, in this regard, I want to inform the August House that the overall performance of the banks and financial institutions in our state is very, very unsatisfactory. In fact, it is very poor. They have multiple excuses when we approach for loans, when our entrepreneurs approach them for loans. For example, under PMEGP 2023, the state government has recommended under DSE 224 entrepreneurs, in which only 180 were sanctioned. 2024, we have 2024, we have recommended in that 79, and 2025, only 80. Yes, we have land issues, but besides mortgaging our lands for loan, there are ways and means where banks can come forward to help us. The banks, if we go by the credit deposit ratio, which is mandatory under RBI benchmark for giving credit, the performance of the state banks operating in Nagaland, it stands only at 46.71%, whereas the permissible credit deposit ratio under RBI guideline is 75%. Banks, most of the banks operating in a state are collecting only deposits, but they are not able to do business with our people. In this, our people also should give response to this kind of attitude. When they cannot do business with us, we also should close all our accounts in those banks which are not willing to work or to partner with our state. In conclusion, I want to state that we are under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, and with the schemes and the programs coming up, we will be able to do much better if the government continues to work with these strategies, and if the banks can come forward so that we can partner to make Nagaland a vibrant, a resilient, and a progressive state. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for the given time. I rise to participate in this vital discussion on the matter of urgent public importance pertaining to the topic, critical role of MSME in improving Nagaland's economy. This is not merely an economic agenda. It is the central question of our state's self-respect, future, and journey from dependency to self-reliance. Speaker, sir, I seek your indulgence as I need a little more than 5 minutes. Let me begin by a plain, straightforward statement. We import toothbrushes and matchsticks to toothpicks from other states. MSME, as you all know, are the engines of grassroots economic activity defined by investment and turnover thresholds under the MSME Development Act of 2006. This act was the landmark national launchpad, formally recognizing this sector as the backbone of India's economy, driving job creation, innovation, and equitable development. To this end, Sir, the Government of India has built a comprehensive support architecture. The 15 key initiatives, including the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, that is PMGP, Credit Guarantee Fund Scheme, that is CGTMSE, Startup India, and the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. This provides a powerful toolkit. They offer financial support, technology upgrade paths, skill development, market access via e-marketplaces, and procurement policies, and simplified clearances. The intent is unequivocal to empower MSMEs to build a resilient, innovative, and job-generating economy. Speaker, sir, we are a state, as mentioned by our earlier speakers, we are a state rich in natural resources, lush forest with medicinal herbs, abundant bamboo, fertile land, and even richer in human capital. Our professionals, engineers, doctors, and scientists are second to none, Speaker, sir. Yet we stand as a tragic irony. We lack manufacturing firms, as has been painfully noted, from toothbrushes and matchsticks to toothpicks. Almost every essential commodities are imported from outside the state. That means we lack manufacturing sectors. We see no significant innovative ventures or patents stemming from our own soil, Speaker, sir. This is the untapped potential. We are not incapable. We are unprocessed, and we have the raw materials. For example, herbs for medicines, bamboo and wood for technology-enhanced construction products, and we have the intellects. MSMEs are the missing link to convert this potential into prosperity, Speaker, sir. They can transform our agricultural produce into packaged organic foods and beverages, not for hobby, but in a commercial scale. They can also transform our herbal wealth into a branded wellness and pharmaceutical industry. They can also transform our bamboo and wood into engineered materials, furniture, and designer woods. Artisanal heritage into a global handicraft and handloom brand. In a state that receives, as we all know, revenue deficit grant, now it is learned that the Sixth Finance Commission has stopped and going to be discontinuing these. MSMEs present the most viable path to economic self-sufficiency, job creation for our youth, and the preservation of our cultural identity through commercial polarization. However, Speaker, sir, to unlock this potential, we must first honestly diagnose the severe challenges that stifle our entrepreneurial spirit. The subsidy mentality and misaligned incentives, Speaker, sir. It is disheartening and critical to acknowledge that many well-intended schemes, be it CM Microfinance, PMAGP, or other schemes, are often pursued merely to avail the subsidy amount, with no genuine intent to establish a sustainable business. Alarmingly, there are reports that some banking institutions even advise this, meaning to say only to avail and forego with the loan amount so that their projects doesn't turn into non-performing assets. I don't know how far it is true, Speaker, sir, but if so, it is very unfortunate and it will defeat the objectives, that is for job creations, financial independency and for the growth of our economic progress. This corrupts the very soul of these initiatives and must be addressed with stringent, outcome-linked monitoring. Another aspect that we need to diagnose, because is the land holding and finance conundrum. Our unique identity, as this also has been mentioned by our earlier speakers. Under Article 371A presents a unique economic challenge. Our cherished land holding system renders most immortgable properties in non-cadastral areas, that means non-mortgageable. This creates an almost insurmountable barrier to formal credit, directly contradicting schemes like CGT-MSE that require bank linkages. This is not a small hurdle, Speaker Sir. It is a primary structural blockage. Another aspect that we need to diagnose is infrastructure and market access deficit. Beyond finance, our entrepreneurs struggle with unreliable power, poor digital and physical connectivity, and a lack of organized market access. Without roads, transport goods, as mentioned by the topic initiator, and internet to sell them, even the best enterprises will falter. Another, Speaker said, is perceptions on work culture and dependency. While concerns about a lagging work culture and dependency among youth are noted, these are often symptoms of an ecosystem that does not reward risk or enterprise. When success stories are rare and government jobs are seen as the only secure pinnacle, entrepreneurial drive naturally dims. So, Speaker Sir, a linked action plan that is from diagnosis to prescription. Our discussion must move from recognizing potential to prescribing a linked, actionable strategy. First, we must tackle finance innovatively. We need to design a Nagaland MSME credit instrument in partnership with the financial institutions like NABARD and SIDBI, etc. This could use community guarantees, warehouse receipts for agricultural produce, and future cash flow pledges as collateral alternatives. Fully leveraging but adapting the national CGT-MSE framework to our context. Second, we must create enabling physical ecosystems. We should establish a dedicated MSME agro processing clusters with leased land and plug-and-play infrastructures, meaning to say power, water, and connectivity in every district in the form of common facility centers, we call it CFC, or flatted factory, like that of Ganesh Nagar Industrial Center and Industrial Hub at Tolobi. This kind of facility is required not only in Dimapur, but in other districts as well, so that the main objective of the government's MSME schemes, MSME initiative will be fulfilled. This aligns with the MSE CDP and provides a workaround for individual land constraints, fostering the manufacturing units. We so desperately lack for items from herbal medicine to bamboo and wood products, which we are not lacking. Third, we must build bridges to the market. A state-led Made in Nagaland campaign, aggressively utilizing market development assistance, MDS scheme, and partnering with e-marketplaces is essential. We must also mandate and facilitate the use of the public procurement policy to source from local MSMEs. Fourth, we must integrate skill with enterprise. Our skill development initiatives must be directly linked to MSME opportunities, teaching, not just weaving, but branding and e-commerce, not just farming, but food processing and export certification. that digital MSME scheme can be our gateway to the national and global digital economy. Speaker, sir. Fifth and the last, we must govern with transparency and rigor, implementing a single, transparent online portal for all MSMEs, schemes with real-time tracking from application to business outcome. Reward genuine success stories publicly, meaning to say we are already rewarding. The department, I believe, is rewarding, but need to be intensified and penalize the misuse of subsidies to fundamentally shift the incentive structure. In conclusion, Speaker, sir, the critical role of MSMEs for Nagaland is existential. It is the pathway from being a consumer state to a producer state, from importing toothpicks to exporting patented products, from revenue deficit to revenue generation and revenue surplus state. Thank you, Speaker, sir.
Micro, small and medium enterprises form the very backbone of our economy. In a state like ours, where large industries face geographical and infrastructural constraints, MSMEs serve as the primary drivers with employment, income generations, and economic stability. Onwards, sir, I would like to outline why MSMEs are critical in our state and how harnessing the immense potential of agribusiness, handloom, and horticulture can strengthen our rural areas and contribute decisively to building a resilient and inclusive economic foundation for Nagaland. Nagaland doesn't have any presence of heavy industries, manufacturing hubs, and our economy is largely driven by small traders, agro-based enterprises, handloom and handicrafts, bamboo and forest-based products, food processing units, transport and services businesses. All of these are known as MSMEs, and our economy fundamentally depends on the strength, sustainability, and growth of the MSMEs. Second thing is about employment generations and youth empowerment, as shared by our previous speakers. Unemployment is a major concern, which we also deliberated in the last session, and it remains one of the biggest challenges among the educated youth. With the absence of the private, corporate, and large industries, the only source lies with the MSMEs for employment opportunities. And the third important thing is the strengthening of the rural economy. Nagaland is predominantly rural. Agriculture, horticulture, livestock, and forest resources are abundant. However, selling raw produce does not generate sufficient income. The real transformation happens through value additions. MSMEs enable food processing of the fruits and spices, packaging of organic products, bamboo furniture manufacturing, meat processing, unique spice grinding and branding. When value addition happens, farmer earns more, rural income increases, and villages become economically vibrant. And MSME therefore act as a bridge between agriculture and industries. And one important matter again is the self-reliant economy. The most relevant word during COVID-19 was self-reliance. And in fact, we woke up during this time more than before. If we strengthen MSME, more goods can be produced locally, more money stays within the state, local brands can emerge, and economic leakages reduce. Another important factor is the preservation of culture and identity, which my previous speaker also mentioned. Nagaland is known for its rich cultural heritage. Our shawls, traditional designs, bamboo crafts, wood carvings, and indigenous products. These are not just cultural items or samples, they are economic assets. The MSMEs transform traditional skills into commercial opportunities. When we promote handloom and handicrafts for organized enterprises, we preserve our heritage, create income for artisans, and promote Nagaland globally. Another factor is the empowerment of women and inclusive growth. Many women are engaged in weaving, food processing, retail trade, self-help groups, and small-scale farming enterprises. These activities provide them financial independence and leadership roles too. It therefore promotes inclusive and balanced development. In fact, our state, mild climate and rich biodiversity make it ideal for high-value crops such as pineapple, orange, banana, passion fruits, medicinal plants, etc. But rural horticulture, MSME ranging from organic farms, nurseries to processing units for juices, jams, and value-added products can create substantial local employment in harvesting, packaging, and allied activities like beekeeping and floriculture, which is on the rise in Nagaland currently. Therefore, we need, in fact, our soil produces much, but we're not able to productively translate wholly into values. Therefore, we need to help develop more cold storages, storage facilities, warehouses, food processing centers, rural market, etc. In fact, these measures will reduce post-harvest losses and support MSME productions. So therefore, how do we continue supporting this? Number one, which I want to point out, is strengthening the self-help groups. These play a vital role, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. The NSRLM under RT is providing such support. The self-help groups encourage micro-entrepreneurships, promote regular savings, internal lending among members. They link with paying to obtain loans. Through working together, they can produce goods in large quantities, share tools and resources, sell products collectively in market, scale up their enterprises into registered MSME, etc. Another thing is the growth of the MSME can be supported through supportive policies, financial support, infrastructure development, and skill training. In fact, the recent policy initiative, like with regard to the Akarwood policy of the state government, is a welcome step. Likewise, such supportive policies on our agri and horti products too can strengthen the MSME in the long run. Another thing is providing affordable loans, subsidies, credit guarantees, help entrepreneurs start and export businesses, enabling them to invest in machinery, raw materials, and operations. As my previous speakers also mentioned about the microfinance, which is one visionary initiative of our Honorable Chief Minister, providing financial assistance and interest subsidies to the entrepreneurs, farmers, and small businesses. Such initiative needs to be expanded and broadened. Entrepreneurship training in business management is also required. Most of our rural entrepreneurs are untrained. Most of the entrepreneurs rush to recover capital, which compromises everything. So therefore, basic business courses help entrepreneurs learn the fundamental skill needed to start, manage, and grow a small business. Training on business planning, feasibility analysis, investment and cost estimation, productions and marketing strategies, pricing, etc. will surely provide a clear roadmap for running the business. Therefore, for true sustainable economic growth to come, we have to empower MSMEs. Our rural heartlands hold potential in the agribusiness, as I said, handloom and horticulture, as we are blessed with fertile soils, diverse biodiversity, and favorable climate conditions. These are not isolated activities. They are integral to our identity, traditions, and community life. When effectively supported and scaled to MSMEs, I believe they can transform subsistence-based rural economies into vibrant, self-reliant model of growth. Thank you, sir.
May I now request the Honorable Leader of the House, Dr. Neiphiu Rio, to give his concluding remarks at the discussion.
Yes, sir. I rise to give my comments and on the discussion on critical roles of MSMEs in the improvement of economy in our state. Sir, move under the urgent public importance, Rule number 50 by Srimati Hekani Jakhalu and supported by Legislators Luthe and Kadetho Kamo, and also participated by Yonga Seth and Opang Konyak. I would like to place on record my appreciation for taking up this topic for the interests of the state and particularly for the knowledge and awareness of this august house. I fully agree that this important issue, the development of micro, small and medium enterprises, which plays a crucial role in employment generation and economic growth in our state. As mentioned by the former speaker, as on 9 March 2026, about 50,000 enterprises have been registered under the Udam portal in the state. Out of these, as many as 48,446 are micro enterprises. Only 175 are small enterprises and 16 are medium enterprises. Also, as mentioned by Mrs. Hekani Jakhalu, on the nano-enterprises, the entrepreneurs whose requirements are from 10,000 to 50,000, and the bank, the agencies, has no time to give importance, or they were wondering, those entrepreneurs facing problem and need a special attention. This has been taken well, and I would like to give my thinking in my last para. So since inception, a total of 737 MSMEs have been created under Chief Minister Corpus Financial Initiative with a total project investment of 65.31 crores, indicating some significant leverage of government subsidy to stimulate economic activities and credit linkage. The MSMEs units created under the scheme have the potential to generate more than 1,500 direct employment opportunities, primarily through transport services, rental, hospitality, business, and small manufacturing units. The government subsidy of 19 crores, 37 lakhs in the MSME sector has generated a total investment of 65.31 crores into the total economy, producing a fiscal multiplier of roughly 3.3 times. This indicates that the public funds are effectively leveraging private investment and banking. These initiatives strengthen financial inclusion, encourage youth entrepreneurship outside government employment, and stimulate rural economic activities. It also integrates first-generation entrepreneurs into the formal banking system. As one of the honorable members who has spoken about the bank trying to discourage the young entrepreneurs and only seeking for the grant, I hope that is not true. If it is so, I think we'll take a very serious look at it, because the 30% of the loan which government will assist, and 10% is the entrepreneur, and the rest 60% comes from the bank, and that is payable after 5 years, and that is to help the entrepreneur, the interest accrued. And that's how that formula, if at all, if anything is happening, we will cross-check, and it should never happen like that. That means the bank people are not helping our youth, but they are working against the system that discouraging them not to do any business or entrepreneurship. At present, 13 MSMEs development projects are under implementation in the state. In addition, 15 new projects have been submitted to the Ministry of MSMEs, Government of India for approval. These projects aim to strengthen industrial infrastructure, promote cluster-based development, and improve productivity and competitiveness of MSMEs in our state. Under the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, PMEGP, the target for the year 2025 to 26 is 454 projects. So far, 66 projects have been sanctioned by bank and 178.98 lakhs of margin money has been claimed. During the last 5 years, a total of rupees 3,715 beneficiaries have been supported under the PMEGP scheme. As members have touched upon RIM, the state is also implementing several initiatives to strengthen the MSMEs ecosystem, including RIM's program, accelerating MSMEs performance, which focuses on improving MSMEs competitiveness through capacity building, registration drives, and buyer-sellers meet. PM Vishwakarma scheme, under which more than 25,000 artisans applications have been received, and training as well as financial assistance are being facilitated. Steps are also being taken to promote cluster-based development and value addition in sectors such as food processing, handicrafts, handloom, and agro-based industries, which have strong potential in our state. The state government is in the process of establishing a yarn bank in Nagaland, which has the potential to play a transformative role in strengthening the state's traditional textile sector, which supporting artisans and weavers. By ensuring the steady availability of quality yarn at affordable rates, the yarn bank would help reduce production costs and enable local weavers communities to remain constantly at a consistent output. In addition, the initiative could serve as a platform for documenting, standardizing, and customizing traditional Naga designs and motifs for commercial applications without compromising their cultural authenticity through collaboration with local weavers, designers, and relevant institutions. These distinctive patterns can be adapted for contemporary markets such as fashions, home decor, and handcrafts. This approach would not only help preserve Nagaland's rich textile heritage, but also generate sustainable livelihood opportunities, expand market access, and promote Naga identity in national and international market. Further, the training program being implemented under NSEDM, Nagaland Skill and Entrepreneurship Development Mission across multiple sectors in alignment with the mission's object of facilitating employment and livelihood opportunities for the youth of Nagaland. The training programs are implementing through expandable training providers across district, focusing on demand-driven sectors with employment potentials both within and outside the state. Sir, in the current year, as of February 2026, a total of 3,091 candidates have been enrolled under various training programs under NSE-DM, all of which 2,365 candidates have successfully completed training. 495 candidates are constantly undergoing training and 5 candidates were recorded as dropped out. In addition to the ongoing training programs, preparations have been undertaken to implement additional training courses under the second and third phases of the mission, with 1,102 training seats planned for the implementation in the upcoming phase. With the allocation of these additional training targets, a total of 4,193 training seats have been allocated under the mission, leaving 807 candidates remaining to achieve the overall skilling of 5,000 youths under NSEDM. Sir, the Drone School and Drone Center of Excellence was inaugurated on 26 January 2026 under the Nagaland GIS and Remote Sensing Center, Planning and Transformations Department. Government of Nagaland, with this initiative, Nagaland becomes the second state in the entire Northeast region to establish a drone school. Nagaland is among the first states in the Northeast region to adopt drone technology for mapping and surveying, geographical data, acquisitions, and disaster management applications. Droneverse Aviation Private Limited has been onboarded as industry partner to strengthen industry linkages and enhance employment prospect technical assistance, specialized course design and facilitation of job placement within and outside the state. The two non-DGCA courses have been introduced recently, namely drone cinematography and drone GIS mapping and survey to broaden employment opportunities and practical applications of drone technology across multiple sectors. The NGIS RSC has also undertaken continuous research and development in heavy payload drones, long-range UVAs, and application-specific performs in collaboration with state link department and disaster management authorities. The detail of training courses are as follows. Categories: DGCA, small category RPC, duration will be 7 days, and number of trainees selected at a time will be 20, and application received for the course is 74. DGCA medium category RPC, 7 days, 10 candidates, trainees, and 165 for the applications received for the course. Non-DGCA FPV training, 14 days, and trainees select is 10, and application received for the course is 98. Non-DGCA repair and maintenance, 7 days, and 10 trainees selected, and application received is 36. So in total, 50 trainees selected and application received for the course is 373. This is a new thing for us, and our students, our youth are very interested and seeking for admissions. Under the agri and allied sector, Nagaland has emerged as a top-performing state in the Northeast, ranking third nationally among small states in Niti Aayog Export Preparedness Index 2024. The state is identified as a leader with significant potential in exporting organic agricultural products like bamboo, textile, handicrafts, focusing on enhancing its export ecosystem and MSMEs competitiveness. This includes our exotic fruits and also exotic products, and world has come to know about our rich culture, our music, arts, from not only in the country but outside. We are also promoting enterprise in the agri and allied sector. For instance, coffee is currently being exported to UAE with growing demand from Britain, Europe, South Africa, Singapore, Japan. In addition, pineapple is being exported to UAE with processed chili. King chili is being exported to several European countries, including the exotic fruits and high quality organic fruits products. Sir, I would, while thanking all our agencies who are doing skilling and trainings for the job opportunities and the banks who are helping us, now that we have to take it to the ground as we represent the people. I feel that all the honorable members, elected members, we should first look into our own constituencies. In a year, you can handpick and support them also. You can utilize your local area development fund. Say, basic thing in every village, you can pick up. You need a barber, electrician, or tailoring, and so many things you require. In this, instead of we depending on the banks or agencies, banking agencies, it will be, as mentioned, it will be more of nano-entrepreneurs, which their requirements are very small, 10 to 50 lakhs, and the turnover is only about 25 lakhs annually. Therefore, this budget, if honorable members agree, I would like to enhance a little bit of our LADP to all the constituencies, and that increase should be targeted to skill our youth in your own respective constituencies. Because how can you expect your villagers to have a haircut coming to town? One day ways, you go by bus or by vehicle, and once you come to town, you will like to buy something else. So instead of you earning, we'll be spending a lot of unnecessary money. Therefore, I think we should take the first lead. While we have so many agencies for trainings, and also you can support those basic things in your constituency, and also giving support, because most of these trainings are also, it's free, but you can facilitate their transport or their lodging. Some are free, some are not. Therefore, that I want to propose, so that we challenge ourselves. We are talking of so many things, but once you start from your constituency, say from your home, I think that will, in a few years' time, we'll see the result. That every village in your constituency or your ward has somebody to handle the small things. Your electronic repairs, electricians, or plumbers, or even small carpentries or home deliveries, all these things you can do. Therefore, while we take a state planning board, we will discuss on this, and if members agree, I would like to give some additional amount added to our local area development fund. The government is also fully aware of the challenges faced by MSMEs, which have been pointed out by our speakers who have highlighted the problems. And therefore, particularly in relaxation to access to the credit bank deposit approval, market linkage, the department is actively coordinating with the banks, district industry centers and other stakeholders to address these issues and ensure timely supports to the entrepreneurship. Once we don't leave it only to the trainer institutions, but if we take care of our respective constituencies and in a small way, if we can bring a change, I think that will change the mindset of our youth also. So the government will continue to focus on improving ease of doing business, strengthen financial support mechanism, encouraging innovation, and promoting local enterprises so that MSMEs can grow into sustainable and competitiveness business. So with this few words, I thank you very much, and I also appreciate and thank the people who have brought this topic on this critical role of MSMEs in improving our economy in the state. Thank you.